They play an interesting style. You've been talking my ear off about them for the last couple weeks.
I breached quite a bit, but now that's gone, it's definitely going to be a different look. The look that's there for the side of FPX is one I'm always excited for. I think Berlin has to be a highlight. He is a nutcase. He's going to try weird stuff that you haven't seen before, unless you've been watching the Chinese region, in which case maybe you have. For now, though, a very aggressive defensive push all the way through A, looking to try and catch them on the flank, but I believe Life has spotted it.
He did. He was ready for that. Only peeked up the top, gave the info to Lysaurus. Good for one. The Sheriff, though, running low on ammo. Flash comes through. He won't dodge it. Now they're right on top of him. Easy trade for Heretics, but the site is claimed. FPX knew the ground they'd given up. Life up top looks to take it all the way onto Boo. And now they've got a foothold, an aggressive one that Heretics will have to fight for. And they win their first duel.
Aya's still up there, though. They might not expect the second, but they're playing as a unit, moving as a pack. Leaving Berlin, who hasn't actually been spotted in the corner, but Woot lands the shot anyway. Leaving Autumn to try and hold on. Utility expended, needs to land the shots first, doesn't go his way, and well, he's not going to get a second chance. Pistol goes the way of Heretics.
Yeah, you're
ready, pinging over onto the B site. It does seem, though, that Heretics have a decent idea. A very passive hold. Benji sitting back. Now, he should be able to clear at least some of the trips. Make sure that they're not going to be able to hold on to that ground, although saying that, it seems like they're both still standing.
Yeah, there was a clear idea from Heretics to change their setup. Boo goes to the A site this round. Traps are here to try to catch these players as they make their way in or out of the site. But now the traps are down. Benji has been blitzed on, and with this FPX, able to fall back, playing a lot of players in main. They've lost their mid control, but that's not that big of a stress this late in the round. Main thing is keeping Life on the site and having the support to cover him as they cross. Even the TPUs to get out of there, and now standard post plants on a long range angle down an alleyway, already finding Mini Boo, and even if they smoke this one off, it's going to be hard to get this stuck all the way with a big swing. Gravwell keeps them back a moment, buys them time, but not quite enough.
Family or friends just to try and counter the bigger problem, which was the burnout. For now, though, it seems like FPX are going to go straight for that middle control. Now, we've seen teams using, well, even them, using the Viper wall for the same purpose, but instead already both smokes utilized early in the round just to try and take this space.
Oh, Life is really committing to this. Decoy sent through a flash to start, and they're trying to catch a fight. Unfortunately, they have. It was Benji Fishy to take down Life and slow this push completely. The squad now trapped in by Ult coming in from Woot. Big play from Boo. He's caught Autumn off guard. Barely any ground to hold on to for FPL. Well, I don't think he's getting away with this one. The crash finally gets him.
Boo is nice. Boo is a nice caught was Benji.
Yeah, and he hit his shot. Simple as that. Mini Boo, free kill,
God,
and he's dashed right out.
That dart caught everyone. It caught everyone.
That dart caught Life as well. A shock dart sent through, picking off one, damage done. Berlin down to on the Team Heretics side. They can't have all 5 players carrying rifles through to the next round, and at least there's the first to fall. Mini Boo with Woot and Rien super.
It's a massive mistake. I don't think there's any way that Aya's going to survive.
No, of course not. It's not an angle you will usually him with a chance. There's one, and low HP on Rien's if he can isolate the fight, but he wants the rifle, and Benji's guarding it. 4-1, as solid the solutions pretty soon, and now this is the best time for it. A bunch of ultimates online, albeit Lysor and Berlin's not high impact, but the rifle's coming out.
They've tried to do the same again, like throw a couple of early smokes. But this is just a ruse. It's trying to sell the idea that they're going for the same play. The problem is there's been a change-up from Heretics as well. They've now got the opera
that we saw a few rounds ago where Benji came in to prevent this B-site push. You've not just got Benji, but Boo here as well. Both of these players, we've seen anchoring sites now committed to holding the angles. Decoy is the one that's sent through. It's not even going to be touched. They allow it to fade into insignificance. Trap, luckily, not going to catch anyone. Aya's able to destroy it in time, and they've claimed the space. Now the rotations come in from Heretics. Now they look to defend that B site or even to retake it, but little do they know the spike is going elsewhere. All they have to do on this site is buy time, and Aya's done a good job of that. Autumn might not be able to get out of here, but look at Lysor's position, sneaking up through mid, cutting this defense apart, and Autumn's even picked another.
It's a double dip, almost a triple dip. They sell an initial fake, throw it into it, what seems like a take of the B site, and then throw it back, or being put in a 1v1.
Well, early on, there's a big fight for A main. Just like the pistol, Heretics want a triple push up. They've spotted the operator already, and the dash actually caught on the wall. That's going to cost Miniboo his life. The flash stopped him from being able to see the players rotating in.
They're pushing into what is almost at this stage a double sentinel. Yeah. It's a bit of a gamble keeping both players here, even having a rotation out from the side of Wu as well, who has been hitting his shot so far. Wu even going to just be waiting behind, but it's almost just a peek out straight behind the utility. Boo goes down, Benji is still here, looking to try and fight on top of it. He almost gets two. The second player so desperately low, even knows that he's still on this corner. Just waiting for someone to try and swing around that corner. I think he's got him dead to rights, a second to his name. But that wraparound, they're waiting for it, they're trying to watch for it, and almost getting that information might just give the game away. Berlin still managing to fight back with another, putting thing into a 2 versus 2, but that time has been ticking all the way along. Benji looking to try and get things to half. He's succeeded, but with his teammate going down, it's now left all onto him, surrounded in the end, and FPX, well, they got a little bit
to grab control so that you know where the hit's coming through. FPX might be waiting. This is a very good resurgence. A team that was 4-1 down with no answers, they've certainly started to fill in that worksheet.
And the bigger problem now is the
mostly weaker weapons. Instead, this ultimate, the dimensional drift is used. Get into the site, root out all these players, grab the info, go for a very aggressive peek. The flash even thrown through by Wook gets nothing, and the control swinging clearly in favor of FPX. A 5 versus 2. There'll be no pit used this round, I'll guarantee you of that. With a plant on the bridge, this round has become very difficult for Heretics to even find anything in. You're talking about economy damage at this point, and it's one man. Make that no man. Aya's had a hell of a round. Didn't. Just earlier on.
Sure. But I think this group truly is. I do. Berlin already directly into the site. Loves his TPs, but it's a lot of damage done off the rip.
Yes, well, Aya's extremely low, but so too is Woot. Oh, hello. Crash still there to be used. Big backside push. Berlin holds the line for a moment.
How that look? I think Rian's just had enough. He's like, he's going to be here. I'm going to check. But again, it's an opening left on that A site, which is going to be a plant. Viper's Pit available, and there's nothing that anyone can do to stop this, other than maybe Blind Hunter's Fury to try and deny the plant. That might slow them down a bit, and that is what he's going to go for. It's not hit.
It was close, but unfortunately it comes at the cost of his life. With Life himself being the one to grab that kill. Out a little early. Life's going to get ahead of the Thrash, but not destroy it. Luckily, it's gone too deep. It's inside the ultimate itself. You're not going to be able to recover that, certainly not with any form of ease. Miniboo, I almost expected him to go up top. Instead, he's just running it through, finding one, but it's not the Viper. Now you're down to the Operator. That's not the right weapon for the job. The spray's good to drop the diffuser, and although Autumn falls, the time already too far gone, and they can't deal with Life.
Like that might get to him, and he's going to go aggro. I think wanted to try and rectify things, but hey, FPX are meeting him.
They absolutely are. Look, with a guy like Life, we've seen this a couple of times. He's willing to play a little bit loose, a little bit crazy. Setting out the late lurk for Berlin. He's going to be covering the back lines where the traps from Cypher don't. And for Team Heretics, the same old thing. Group up, play this as a blob, move together. Smokes online for Boo fairly.
They could section things off. There you go. Space taken, but they have to deal with Life.
They also have to be quick because Berlin's on the way up behind, and if he finds that space before they've claimed the site, this could be an absolute disaster. Problem is, denying this defuse is very difficult. Oh, the run through is good, and the shorty comes out for more! A gorgeous play from Autumn!
I don't think anybody's managed to do that ever. And well, speaking of confidence, Autumn's coming into this round with the Viper attack side op. Actually, in fact,
opportunities for themselves in the late round. Now it's going to be the same thing.
Read again.
Lysaur mid lurk, play to B site, but again, Heretics, all the utils here, and they've got Rians this time.
That's it. His darts have been impressive, and he's got it online now. Trying to get that information, and it is eventually going to be denied. In fact, not catching anybody this time. The one time it would have been almost instant death. For the side of this attack, they're taking the space, jumping up. Benji's found the first, holding that line, but it's not clean, it's not pretty. Well, Aya's managed to take him down. Timer ticking and the spike still in an awkward spot, but again, he's always there, always behind. The timing's going to be everything though, as Rians drops another. He's heard the steps of Miniboo coming behind him. He's trying to catch this guy off guard instead, and now looks to switch back. That plant is just about going to be coming in time. And they've still got to worry about that flank.
Yeah, it's made its way up top now, and well, it doesn't look like the flank's the main problem. Berlin's holding strong. Autumn's here to support, although he's lost his head. Now the flank going to be dealt with, but ammo is the main concern. 8-4 as we close out this. Come through, and considering they killed Young on mid, they might start to go quite quickly around. There's a lot of pings here, though. Pings that certainly indicate they're suspicious of a player being around here, and they've caught Berlin. Okay, the snake in the grass dealt with, and Heretics, I think, are going to move into the B site. Yes, they are, and it's wide open.
Yeah, they've been methodical this round. I think they were very ready for that mid push, something that is attempted by FPX in a fair few rounds.
30 seconds left.
Watching it from multiple angles, and while now for the defense, they are going to need themselves a bit of a hero play. Wingman will be sent through. A little obstacle course for him to make it onto the site, but defense are already here. All three players looking for someone to make a mistake.
Well, perhaps Rienz has. He faced into Lysor, who seems to be hungry for some kills. Already picking up 2. And damage done to Benji. This is workable. With Lysor down, the pressure falls on Autumn. He's had some big plays, big rounds, but it's a little tough to do in the pistol, surrounded on all sides, and Heretics, everybody challenge is a little bit more aggressive than what we saw from Heretics. Boo was constantly playing far back in heaven, or Benji playing towards the spawn with his utility. Instead, Autumn is out looking for a fight.
Because they've got Thrash online. If he's not put into a better position, or if he's caught out, he is the only defender of this site, so that definitely could be an issue. I think also just playing on this side when there's a Gecko,
least to cause some paranoia, but, well, FPX know there's nothing going on. Life has committed himself to holding down middle. FPX have a lot of utility on A. We saw this in the last round. The traps were there awaiting them. Although we'll have Thrash going through first, you've still got to avoid those traps. That's exactly what Mini-Boo does. Updraft dash takes heaven control, but no punish just yet there. Lysor eventually falls from the jump up. Mini-Boo looks to be a thorn in their side. Up in heaven, not just by himself, but with 2 players, make that nobody. Woot dies, and the fallback from Boo now leaves Mini-Boo alone.
They've seen him. It seems like it. Lots of utility being expended, and he's isolated. And the aggression elsewhere hasn't succeeded either. Boo falls, puts the advantage with the defense. Rienz and Benji. A little bit of an angle over the top, which might just give the game away. A nice shot from Rienz, puts things back into a 2 versus 2. And for a moment, it looked like Ayung was going to try and jump around, but he's thought better of it. That time continuing to tick, Rienz continuing to land every shot. 4 kills for him in this round. For a rifle, there has been extra damage caused, there's no doubt about it. The rest left just onto pistols. I guess in that case, I'd probably be watching Lysor, because his share is fairly nasty. For the other side, though, you got Hunter's Fury, 1 away as well from a Cosmic Divide, which for the most part, it's not normally the most impactful, but when you
fight, instead, Mini-Boo grabs the opening. It does spur them onto the B side where everyone's waiting, and it's Ayung taking 2 headshots at that with the Guardian. And they're in a bit of trouble jumping across that bridge because Ayung's still waiting. His 4th kill locked in already. And Benji Fishy left in an impossible situation. 3 players and Ayung looking for the ace. He's got it locked in.
This group truly is terrifying. Life though, well, that's just absurd. He just tried something so risky, and he has walked into. Yep, that's the whole Heretics team.
That is everybody. Young might be in a position to get under that. I think it's just about going to catch him. We'll see. Yeah, he's had to break it as he makes his way through, and now they're aware. They're turning.
Would have made it if he was bold. That's all I'm saying. Another win for the bold gang.
Another win, the first win, let's say. Wow. Team Heretics, 4 versus 1 at this point. It seems to be locked in. Yeah, relatively neck and neck. I mean, you can understand that last round, the early aggression. Sometimes you got to just throw in a little extra flair to your round. And if there's a lurker there, he's dead, most likely. But, well, there were 5 people ready to take the fight. For FPX, rotation comes through. Life now in position, ready to take this B fight. In fact, the decoy is sent straight through, and Life is awaited. They let the decoy run past, took the main man down, and now the advantage, well, actually quickly flips hands. Autumn making a fight for it. Boo, though, answers back up alongside Woot. Addition to work with, but I don't know what that is going to get them. Maybe point the guns in the right direction. Little lurk around from Young. He's going to go for it. Yeah, but find absolutely nothing. A firing squad waiting for him.
Yeah, Rians is there, so clean with it at the end. Scoreline equalized 4K. That was when we last saw something from him. Viper's Pit immediately put into play, trip alongside it, and it means that they're going to try and gamble elsewhere. Have 3 players towards the B site. Middle control will be held by Lysor, but once again, and no surprise, Heretics are taking their time.
Lysor is going to be pretty passive. Extremely passive, in fact, because you've got the trap sitting inside that Viper's Pit on A. You have free kill if they decide to push up. And
going to be actually pinged immediately by the Dizzy, but it allows him to go back into position. Woot, though, defending his little bro. That means they're going to get into that after plant. Utility retrieved. The rest so far away. Ion, though, has pushed in on his own, and well, he's going to get double swinged for it. A little bit over-aggressive, a little bit individualistic, and because of that, the rest of his team are now still a man down, and they've got to be worried. There is the latest lurk on planet Earth from Benji. He's only just made the drop. I think it actually got heard by Autumn, so he's now waiting. That's another kill to their name, putting things back, but again, Rians, so clean, so confident. Get in and defuse this, but actually, I was going to say maybe he wouldn't be pulled off, but I think he has been. The angle not being able to be kept, and eventually it's going to fall flat on its face.
But because of that, B-site's much more open. Isolated fight onto Berlin. Site secured, plant in, time on their side, and Benji, yeah, he plays it super late, but that was what needed to happen. Otherwise, he just runs back out on mid. They obviously know he's there. They kill him. One less guy to deal with.
The danger now, 4 ultimates online for Heretics in a round that if they win, wow, it will put, it's pretty important for FPX to take. Heading into bind up next. Miniboo, space taken. He's got the Thrash actually going in behind him. That will clear the back of the site and give them all the space they need.
Should even be able to get back over to recover that, but Woot, oh, picking up the kill onto Young. I don't think he's going to be going for Thrash instead. Holding onto that FPX. Now there could be some trouble. The ult forces him out of position. He knows he was about to be revealed, but Lysor gets the kill. Now the aggression from Life. Flash. Should have another. There it is. Popped and ult completed. Not able to find anything. Sending the decoy through. Just buying the space. Keeping them back in the choke point as the defuse starts. Now he'll body block. Look to absorb those bullets for his teammate. They've killed Life. And now they need the diffuser. Looks like they'll get him just in time. With it ticking away, all they have to do is deny that defuse with the man advantage.
Difference. 2 rounds is all they've had. But as we've seen, they're very good at streaking rounds together.
With these weaker weapons, I'm not expecting much. Woot, though, has the rifle and is able to grab himself at least the trade to start this one off. Moving towards the site, we'll see the plant come in from the wingman. Already mostly through. The spray's not quite landing, so they're able to fall back now. 2 rifles, 3. Well, make that 2 again. It's Boo and Benji Fishy holding the chances of this squad in their hands. They only have 2 chances to close this out, and this one, well, it's not quite their best opportunity with Boo tagged up, or well, decayed down by the Nightfall. The defuse already underway. Here comes the Shock Dart lineup, though. Grabwell already used to start this one off. Flank spotted as well. Lysor won't get a free kill, but with Boo falling, the numbers thin out. They've dealt with Flank, but they haven't dealt with the defuse, and the Hunter's Fury way too late. They'll get a tag, but that's all, and an ult expended for little.
Still having a Thrash available. Going to be something to play with, and definitely still wary of these aggressive pushes. For now, though, again, looking a lot more direct from the side of Heretics.
Well, it absolutely is. We saw Thrash put into the hand of Woot, and now sent out to find a victim. Drop. That was an interesting dash up top. Young in the perfect position to punish it. And now Benji, well, he's not going to get away with absolutely anything. They really want to fight for heaven for Vents, but they will get nothing. Heretics left down in the dirt. 12-12. We're going to overtime.
All the players, all 5 in fact, are outside B.
Need that back.
Well, Heretics going for the same push-up on A, but seeing absolutely nothing this time. Going to be much quicker rotations going around, plugging the gap that's on middle, and mainly trying to support this B site. Unfortunately, they won't be there in time. Look who snuck into position, though. Boo It's not a normal spot to be playing from, and they're not even going to clear it. They're not even looking this way. That's the spike right in front of him. He's letting it get half planted just in case he can find another kill, and not quite, but he does the damage. Lysor on 8 HP, but the advantage sits with FPX, and it's Lysor that's going to go forward to plant this spike, I believe uncontested, unless there's a crazy shock dart. There actually was! Rienz fires it in and takes him down! And Autumn and Berlin, now another man sent in to plant this spike, a death sentence most of the time. I believe another, oh, it's a reveal, in fact, not a shock this time. It was sent through and it's caught the information. They know where FPX are holding this from. Autumn needs a big play and only the one to be found. Berlin, 1 versus 2. And they're all gonna be diffusing in that narrow little alleyway. If there is a chance, the spray might just work out, but they're trying to bait him into a fight. He sees they're not diffusing. He'll buy this time just a little bit further. In fact, the clock here could prove to be the biggest enemy for the side of Heretics as they start this diffuse yet again. The swing is in, but the shots don't land. FPX punish this time, and it's Heretics to push to 13.
Might not even be an issue, really. It's just going to be if they can get into a post plant, which, hey, if you're running a Gecko, I feel like you should be able to do that, and they have been able to do that. Autumn already spotted. Boo already in position, ready with his lineups, just to try and be an absolute rat at the back of the site. And while this is maybe the scariest post plant FPX are going to ever have to face into.
They might not even know what they're facing just yet. That's the scariest part. You see the stars down on the spike. The grav well to deny. Benji's been in this position quite a few times, more than a handful of times, but this time they're not checking it in time. Luckily, Lysor reacts, finds the kill. The defuse started, at least that's as far as Heretics know. Some kills come through, though. They reclaim the space. The Odin takes Lysor. The drop from Berlin is good. Able to at least find the one, and Rienz is incredibly low. Boo's caught up top. That's a big mistake. All he has to do now is root out Rienz and deal with Woot, but that's a big task halfway when Rienz swings in to close it out. 14-12. They
go for an aggressive composition, try and use that individual skill. Autumn is someone who, hey, he can pull out a clove, drop 25 kills, so let's give him a chance. Over with the chamber, and there you go. Pick and out.
A nice start for that defensive side. A little bit of aggression going down on A as well. And straight to the Shadow Realm. 4 versus 3 with FPX now looking to pick up the pieces, but the position from Berlin could be everything. He's got 2, and that's the spike with him.
This is such an absurd round. You'd think the defense are on the attack the way that they're pushing. And why are you going to expect the third player to be pushed up? The thing is, he's alone, hiding in his own smoke. And while he gives a little angle over to Woot, Woot's going to land the shot. And look where the remaining defenders
walk through, and it's going to be Woot rounding to take the fight, but the shot is delivered straight to the cranium. Only Autumn. 1 shot left in the golden gun. It's his ghost that's creeping up close and finding them on the spams. The silencer lending a hand, and round the side he goes for the triple kill.
But even still, I think they're planning to try and disrupt this backside. Wow. Rien's kind of clean today.
Not a bad start, that's for sure. And Young not going to last much longer either. They've avoided going into Berlin's awaiting arm. The rifle in there. Let's see what we've got. What's behind door number 1? It's a judge, and now it's time to leave that guy alone. You can have all the space you want in lamps, but you got to get to the site to defuse, and that's where the difficulty spawns. Paranoia used to try to keep them back. Again, Rienz can see clear as day. The orb going to block him out. Flash goes up top. Benji's around the back, inside the smoke, waiting for them to emerge, and he's caught himself a double, almost a third, but Rienz gets ahead of him, and a clean. Yes, no shields, you'll notice. This is a glass cannon attempt to get aggressive early on, has the TP to fall back on, getting a little greedy, going around the corners, and there's Boo waiting for him.
Playing this rotational operator, and he's got life alongside him. A lot of support, and now 2 men down.
The dominoes have started to topple at this point. For FPX, everything is working out. Another pick as Rienz comes out of the smoke, and the rest of the squad still sat up in hookah. Now they fall back, looking to take it the other direction, and perhaps they'll have a 2v2 on offer. You have some aggression.
No! Life's gonna swing! And wow, a risk. It is a bunch of risks. But that's the thing. As I said, I think if you try and play regular, to the book, standard Valorant, beating them on this map is incredibly difficult. Already, Thrash going to be utilized and straight through the TP, but they're met with Benji. 3 disrupted. And wow, swings and roundabouts. Sometimes the aggression works, sometimes you get triple sprayed down.
Yeah. The fact that these players turn so quickly, the doors open, and, well, they seem to close on the round, at least, with FPX having an operator, Lysor. I'm not sure that they're going to want to comes out.
Yeah, I think Autumn always had the plan, unless his teammate got a couple of kills to just fade away. Everything else they can repurchase. So it's not the ending away. Because this comp, if you play passive, sucks.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is not a passive comp. And that's the problem. If things don't work out, that's often going to be what you do, is switch it up, change your pace. We saw that in the last round. Now Autumn being dropped is traded out for life. Got an aggressive out on B long, at least keeping a foothold.
Because at least then he'd be able to slow them down.
30 seconds left.
Seas hasn't quite caught in the flash on left, and they even caught life, I think. They want to try to back out, but mollies are covering them. Orbital strike comes in, sectioned off by Team Heretics, put in a box. Life at least able to find a wall. How is that correction landed? At least Benji falls. Life's work is not for nothing. In fact, it seems like the advantage will be converted into a round win for FPX. Miniboo's got the showstopper. Ready to work with, but Autumn picked off in the last round. He'll take 2 first bloods in this one to make up for it. That is a devastating start. And now that showstopper, that's just an afterthought. Walking through the Viper utility. Oh, the timing. The judge still comes back for 1. And well, a 5 versus 1 emerges. Good luck and condolences for the round to Benji Fishy.
Oh, it's gonna have to be an insane 1v5. They know exactly where he is, pop flashes, and well, we talk about how aggressive this team can be, but both players falling back. They want to try and group back up with Autumn, and he's not falling back, but honestly...
Izzy has to go round first, otherwise you're dead. Prowler, something has to reveal that, or you're risking 2 players dying to 1 bullet.
That's the thing, they do have the utility to be able to clear out an operator. Like, you've got yourself a Fade and a Gecko, and you've got a Boombot. Like, I think this round they did, or the last round, sorry, they put the Boombot through to try and catch him pushing B mid, but it didn't matter. He wasn't there. And then they weren't prepared to try and fight him over on that previously. And when you've got the Viper Util decaying you down, here he is with a chance, but Woot's the one to shut him out. Now an opportunity for Heretics, even with the weaker weapons, if they can keep these trades up, and they're doing exactly that. 3 versus 2, and some weapons to be recovered with a plant coming in now. And Wingman online for the late round. Autumn's on the flank. The long way around with Lysor inside that smoke. Boo has gone looking, but hasn't seen anything back towards long. If he goes to swing this again, he's going to be met with either a headhunter or an operator. In fact, he might not even check. It's going to be a free kill, but they've already managed to clear out Lysor. Around looking all but over, as him getting into some of these closer range positions is going to be impossible, and Rian's even there to close it out once.
They have a chance to continue this fight.
They actually have a 3-man setup ready and waiting. Immediately getting rid of the Thrash, and life just keeps going. 2 kills already. Boo tagged up a bit, but he's lost some health himself. Not going to overface this. I feel like they were so...
Life, time and time again, just surprising us with the individual skill. Berlin dropped in life low, but the trade is quick from Young.
And even still, if they don't step or hear them, Young perfectly placed, but loses the battle. Still, though, it allows 2 players to be here, but you have to bear in mind how low life currently is.
Autumn spot allowed him to keep B long control now, though he's abandoned that trap to move for the flank. Lysor does well, landing that one, but Benji's got some fight left in him. 50 HP, and the shot through the box.
I think E2 at Masters, they won their attack. They are not winning their attack, so they've already broken what has been a running streak for the side of Heretics. Finally, they managed to shut out Autumn, but he's not alone. There are more players there, one lurking within the poison orb, but it's only going to be the 1-for-1. Berlin, he's revealed his position as well. And although there is a player looking to come in from behind, Heretics this time are going to get the afterplant with an advantage.
Ooh, style points for that. The initial push through, he's gone around the long way, fighting it for control over Lamps, and he's found it. at least to begin. Things are going well. No flashes left, though. Leaves the dry peaks, and Berlin with a 1 versus 2 after his initial. Already starting to defuse, looking to get it half, but Molly comes in. Smoke soon to fade as well. He's peeking out on the side of it, but they know he's not defusing. And there's no need for them to swing, although Rienz obliges eventually. There's
where everybody else is disruptive. The problem, though, has been getting there. And well, they have a showstopper and then a Viper's Pit, so if they do get there, I think it could be ropes for FPX.
Yeah, it'll be very tough to get back into a site like that with a pit down, and it might be tough to keep them out with the showstopper. Boo bypass that utility, and the Seas has actually caught Young. He could be in a lot of trouble here with Mini Boo going up and over. The shot doesn't land from the showstopper, nor does it from the rifle. Young still kicking on the site, moving back to clear Boo, who luckily wins the fight. Some breath still for Team Heretics, and the flash in. Life is going for another big play, but only the one to be found.
That keeps things even. Plant yet to happen, so you can see the doubt. Autumn's actually going to go back slightly weaker.
It's thinned out the numbers for sure, but Berlin's not looking weak. What a shot with Boo down. The spike retrieved. Rienz is going to try to get this one planted. No wingman, though. He has to do it himself. And the TP out. Beautiful from Berlin. Even as the ultimate to use just to cause that little bit of paranoia for Rienz. And in fact, the ult is used straight towards the spawn. So now Rienz has no idea where this opponent could be. And Autumn's a mystery as well. Does manage to get the plant down in the chaos, though. Not deterred, but shot in the head from up in heaven. Berlin.
Performance. A pistol definitely wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, you know, it's not even that they're being quiet, it's that their opponents are being so loud. They're just drowning them out. Like, so many of these fights, they just can't get anything done in because, and to be honest, it's tough to play against.
Something that maybe, I guess Heretics, I think, have played it before, so they might be prepared for it, but that doesn't make it any easier. Here we go, though. Execution into the site. A couple of players ready and waiting. Looks like there's going to be an attempt from Woot to maybe try and deny the plant. He's around the edge, but unfortunately the Haunt doesn't find anything.
Are they thinking about, yeah, they're TPing, they're going back. Autumn was left lurking outside B, heard the rotations. There's one player up close, Benji, but he's tagged down to 24. A flash on backside could get him out of dodge, but Berlin's already on him. The push from Rienz, it was at least covered for a moment by the Viper wall, but now he's all alone, doing the damage, and at least dropping a few, giving Woot a chance. Lysor shuts him down, and Boo has somehow allowed Life to thread the needle. Unbeknownst to him, Boo's right behind him. This is a pantomime with a free kill, although it came a little close. Just the 1v1 left with Lysor's position unknown.
Oh, he's right above as well. Just looking for that fight for the fourth.
Young's hands, and then Berlin on a Spectre, but for the most part, they're able to go blow for blow with Heretics in this round. And if Heretics don't find this, well, they're going to have to start drafting up that anti-triple controller setup.
Yeah, I hope they already had it drafted. 35 seconds coming up on the clock. Pressure going to be put on to Benji, but he has support, or had support. Now it's all on him, but the flashes are just leaving him in a position to fight. Rienz is doing an amazing job on the backside again.
10-5 we go. FPX still up well above their opponents. Mini Boo getting confident, getting aggressive, and getting shut down early on. FPX have found an easy opening duel. You talked about no need to push, Tom. Well, it looks like Heretics missed the memo.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea. Like, the supportive utility was there, but it's definitely put them in an awkward spot. As I said, after a pause, a lot of teams will take a gamble, but when you're 10-5 down, that gamble hasn't paid off, and it's not getting any better.
With Rienz down as well, big clutch player for the squad. A lot of utility that's going to help you to get back into a site. There's not a lot to hope for, except Woot finding some semblance of hope with a quick pick. Clearing out the space towards Bath, finding one player. He knows that's probably an isolated duel, one he's happy to take.
Okay.
And even with the decay, with the vulnerability, he is still able to win that duel. We're back to a 3v3. It's winnable for Heretics, and the flank hasn't yet been spotted from Benji Fishy.
He's going, in fact, he's going all the way around the back. He's in their spawn. Autumn picks off Benji. This now becomes so much more awkward because that player up above is going to leave them in disarray, but Woot is still going, still thriving, still trying to find anything that he can with Autumn, just buying as much time as possible, just baiting them as much as he can, and they're only just getting onto that defuse. He needs to try and find the shot. It's confidence he had in Boo, because if he lets go, this becomes a much closer round. Like, you hear a second tap and Life doesn't have to swing, but it forced him into a position where eventually there was a lot of time left on that clock. This time, though, with Heretics slowly climbing, it's only going to be pistols. Sure, you got that headhunter available, and they're going to clear control to collect up the orbs. They're putting it onto life, which...
For Heretics, there are a few risks here playing up close, but there's always a second player doubled up on it. Miniboo and Woot as an example, but Woot's dropped right off rip. Miniboo, though, able to get it done. This is what we're talking about, having that second man to provide that cover to trade it out. They don't want to lose too many more players. Keeping the economy healthy early on is a big factor, and Spike's gone the other direction. Pressure's on for Benji.
Yeah, the problem is they haven't got as far forward as they probably would have liked. He's going to wait, almost play the bait, just hold on while they fight his teammates. It's all too easy for Benji. On out for Lysor, if anything, he just needs to make sure he dies. Not wanting to just hold on to a pistol for the next round. He's going to go swinging. Already has the ult, so it's not even going to be for the orbs in the end. Heretics
finds nothing, and on the back of it, I expected aggression. If it was life, you'd see aggression, but they backed off.
Yeah, Benji will be revealed, but he has support, and it's actually the spam through the orb that ends up taking down life. That's not the man you wanted to lose early on in this round. Because as said, like, you look at the other side, what have you now got? You've lost.
Benji not going for the orb. Could have been Viper's Pit online, but he knows that risk not worth it at all. Thrash sent in, and Berlin's already pushed way too far forward. Perfect timing from Rienz on the ultimate. The snake bite keeping them back, and as they attempt to fade through the orb, Rienz gets another blind through the smoke. The spike recovered by Lysor, soon to be gifted to Heretics by the looks of things, but the op comes in, the shot fired, lands nothing, and now they'll be much more cautious. In fact, the molly gets him. Oh, it's a disaster. 30 HP for Lysor. He's at least got 2, but 8 seconds left. Spike to be planted, players to be dropped, and even saving is impossible. Miniboo's got him sectioned in.
This is where they will win. Now, they've got a few ults for this one. Young, Guardian. He's going to be better in this round.
I actually think this is over then for Heretics, to be honest. I don't care about Autumn's ultimate. It's Young's Guardian. 3 headshots is a minimum. He might get 4. We'll see.
Yeah, the only thing that will stop him is if it's through a wall.
Yes.
Then he'll only take down maybe 1 player.
If Lysor uses the Viper's Pit while Young has a Guardian, he's trolling. Now, you need to give him the long-range angles. Let him just headshot. But no, for real, at this point, Heretics, A-site, feeling a bit of pressure. They're just going to fall back. They're going to concede the control. That could get Pit down for FPX and give them a real chance to fight for this round.
Teams, but they have been able to buy quite a bit of time. Miniboo playing a game with Chicken. Berlin on the other side, and while Miniboo comes out on top, they now have to deal with this man. He goes for a little bit more. They've also lost the pit. This is a bigger problem now. Life has at least been able to recover 1, but it's left onto Young, and there's a counter pit in play. He has to make a play into it, and they're watching for this. They're ready for this, but he managed to bypass them. It didn't matter in the end. Benji was waiting.
Now, he seems to have found his groove.
He's getting back into it at least, and as I said, that was always going to be dangerous. A streak of rounds, and this would be both maps now, where the FPX have found themselves in pretty hefty advantages, and they are starting to slip in a similar way. It will be a crushing way to go into that lower bracket, and of course have to face off against Sentinels. I don't think there'll be many teams that will have had to be eliminated from 2 tournaments only playing against Masters finalists. That would be the brutal way to go out. Life, though, here is that ult. Something they were looking for, but there are multiple players ready and waiting. The utility is so good, though. It's fantastic to support him.
And Young with another. Yeah, Rienz had thrown his own bit of util out, the Dizzy to try to get space, but he's denied it. Boo and Woot left with a tough decision. Do they go for this? They've got plenty of cash, so I see no reason why not, but it'll be hard to find it. Okay, player in the corner, but Autumn's clean on the first shot, and the flash leaves Boo in the corner. Autumn can post up, and that's where he's found tour de force. He challenges them to a game and see if they do want to play. Certainly early on, no form of aggression, and the Dizzy just reveals a player's outside the site, and with the ult in play, you do not want to go checking who it is.
Straight away. One of the TPs has had to be used just to get out of the seas. I think they are trying to deny Life farming up those orbs. We've seen the singular buy round they've managed to win come off the back of his ultimate. And again, 3 players ready and waiting. It's allowed by the aggressive position over in Hookah that's being held. And now Boo, well, he's going to be under pressure. Another double ping, and well, Woot's caught.
Always seems to be the place they get curious is exactly where Autumn is. Rienne's able to trade, but the disadvantage remains for the side of Heretics. And although Rienne's finds another, we're in the same boat.
Showstopper.
Mini Boo, showstopper, not going to heaven though. Needs to pull his rifle out pretty soon because there's a peek coming in from Young, getting aggressive, and it was not expected with the tour de force landing a
coming in, being caught, and the fact that he gets the last player as well. Ultimates still in a decent spot though for Heretics. They could respond.
Oh, they could, but Boo's down to start this one off. It's not looking pretty. Life even finds another Lysor, trading out some of the disadvantages, but Benji's done well. His 2 picks puts it back to neck and neck. And now, an opportunity with the spike dropped right under their nose for FPX. Look, if there was any 2 players you wanted to put in a clutch position.
The timing not working out great for the side of Heretics, and they're going to have to take the long road all the way back around. Now, it might not be expected, though, for them to have pushed this far up so soon. The problem is, I think they're a little bit worried about full sprinting just in case someone still lurked in mid.
Well, I mean, conventionally speaking, this is where players will have already started the rotate. It's not an angle they're super exposed to, it's just Life, but now he's got the info, and the shot landed to start this one off. Big swing to get the trade, and Autumn finds him with his back turned. Beautifully played by FPX, and they've managed to take behind a map that we were counting them out of, and of course we were. This has been...
Which I don't mind. I can only assume it's because Woot's going to look to be that little bit more aggressive, although saying that, Rienne's is the one that's pushing up.
Curious look for Heretics, my goodness. Well, let's see how this one pans out. Haven't seen Boo on the fade in quite a while. In fact, doesn't even have that many games on it in total. Autumn has gone down right away. A few assists coming in. The fade alongside the decay from the Viper wall. And they're looking to push right in towards Heretics' position. Boo, well, he has a tracer, a rough idea of where those players are, but he can't land the shots. Luckily, the rest of the squad is there to cover all that many weaknesses. Odin bought up by FPX, trying to spam down early on A, but it's converted out now for the rifle. Oh, and it's converted back, and it's converted back again. They're juggling all the way to the spawn, and it's going to be chucked away. So just the rifles carried forward, and Autumn doing work.
Rotation already coming in from Rian, so they bolstered this A-site defense, and with 3 players already committed to tree, this could be a problem. They haven't managed to get out of this spot, but Woot's going to give them the fight. In fact, Rian swings with him, and both players are dropped.
Yeah, the call was clearly made to face them together. Can't quite account for those shots landing in that fashion. Find a bit more. He's gone down the rope. He's on the site, round the corner. They're not expecting it. The angle's open. He finds his one. Nade thrown, but he has a player around the backside. It's Aya on his way, and Ayung not even needed, really.
Sentinel and plenty of other roles. And this early fight, well, fair enough, Woot. I guess you can just play a duelist initiator and everything in between.
Yeah. A man of many talents, that's for sure. A jack of all trades and a master of most as well. The Odin spray from Boo. It's stylish. I like it. A little bit of damage already, but Mini Boo goes out to see if they're still there. Well, the info is at least found. Unfortunately, the advantage is lost in the meantime. Woot! Oh my goodness! 16 HP left on Berlin. Not going to be too healthy in any future fights. Thrash leading the way. B site to be cleared. I don't think it's going to find any connections. It will be recovered, though, for the post plant.
Yeah, and again, you can see those smokes already put into play. Available for Woot, but does he use it up top? That's the real problem.
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't catch Lysor. It was used too shallow. And I believe Thrash, yeah, it's just now back online. So the chances of this round going the way of Heretics next to none, with Rienne's desperately trying to escape, but running straight into... Young's lost half his HP through a spam through the door with the Sheriffs. And a push up from C. Lots of information. Yeah, I think FPX definitely expected a bit more aggression from Heretics. Remember, last round they took the space very quickly, sending Life out into the open, but there was a player up top above their smoke, destroying their flash and taking a free kill on a player in the air. Now, they're much more cautious of that early aggression. Dizzy to be thrown through. Nobody caught by it. So in goes the wingman for the plant. Almost undeniable, but a potential reveal with the swings out. They hope they can convert a couple of kills, but they are kept in position, whether it be by bullets or utility.
A couple of ultimates getting relatively close. Nice shot from Benji. We know how dangerous he is with this Sheriff. Looking for a little bit more. 3 kills already. Another one comes up for Woot as well. It's now somehow left on to just Berlin. This round was looking all but done. He's been revealed. They know where he is as well. and already sending utility, but it hasn't connected. It doesn't even matter. Smoke shutting him off completely, and that control going the way of FPX. The only problem is they don't have a mass amount of time to only be getting this control now. There's still a lot to do.
If they switch back to B, they could be in trouble. I think that's going to be the play. Usually when it's low time left, that's where teams decide to take it. The spike's certainly on its way, but the nade has kept them back, bought a little bit more time. We're down to 20 seconds, and Team Heretics now have rotated in to assist on the A side. They're ready for this push. Oh, they're just now pulling back from it, giving up that space. It looks like FPX, despite the clock being against them, will just about have enough time to get this planted.
Yeah, I don't think they mind that though. Having the lockdown available and the showstopper. In fact, the showstopper committed immediately. Maybe trying to force players back. Instead, Lysor goes forward. Gives them that advantage. Another comes up as well. Finally, Boo has managed to get a response, but it's whether or not they even want to commit the lockdown. I think at this stage, it would be, well, an oversight to put that into play. Benji, well, he pulled off an impossible clutch moments ago. This one might even have to be better, and Lysor's not going to give him the time of day. They put Prowlers through B. So they basically know that this is going to be that early A control, so they can stack players up here. Bit of spam from either side, but they have to be wary of a potential double back towards the B side. And with Boo already being tagged low, there is going to be a push. Well, immediately broken, and they're actually going to try and push into Rians. I was about to say, going through a snake bite would be an incredible risk in a round where it's not necessary at all.
Especially with things like this now. Orb into a young last second. Mini Boo up close now. Sheriff in hand, not able to land the shots. Life whizzing right by him as Lysor finds another. Now things are looking to be locked in for FPX. Just a few pistols left, and Benji's not getting away with it. This strong position, like you said, having lost the pistol, having lost a huge clutch to two Sheriffs. A thrifty round. Now find themselves in the lead early on. Team Heretics have ultimates of their own. The lockdown for Benji Fishy leaves them with a much more passive hold of C. Not in terms of the utility. Alarm bot just there, revealing there's some players. But it's not like they want to hold on to this control with their lives when you have the lockdown.
I think also just FPX hadn't gone C. They waited for that showstopper. The utility is sublime, setting up Life perfectly, but the response from Boo is ridiculous. Opens the door and an over.
Oh, they absolutely are. Lysor knows that, having already heard the Prowler go around the corner. Back into the round instead. He's going to have to take down 3. Already 1 through the smoke, and the spams came close, but not close enough. There may be a hole in Mini Boo's early on A main. Now start to fill in the rest of the space. Again, they're confident to play retakes on B or C with a lockdown in play. No worries, really.
You want to fight it?
It looks like the B site retake will be necessary. Paranoia used. I expect Boo to fall back. I see him stood on the edge of that wall, though, and I'm thinking maybe he's going to go for a little nasty play. He's waiting for their aggression for sure. Viper's Pit used from the spawn. It gives them a little avenue back through, actually. They'll get very close with a lockdown in play. The players are sent tumbling back in the other direction. They almost have to fight forward for the most part. Boo's ready for them to start with, and Lysor manages to make it out, but denying this defuse could be difficult. They're going to have to find a couple of picks. With the players sneaking in inside the pit, they could already be defusing, and someone needs to get on that to check that they aren't. Pit gets dropped, shots landed by Berlin, put them in a good position. With the wall down, Benji has the line of sight through. I doubt they clear this corner.
Oh, he's going to look for the timing, and it doesn't quite work out. At least gets a little bit of information. Now, the reason they've left this solo C site is, again, FPX have been there once, and they got killed from behind. So they haven't need to stack up on this side of the map. The late rotation, the orb going up is going to be a problem. Mini Boo playing up close, still has his nade. They haven't baited out any of this utility, and the push-up from Life might try and sell the idea, but Berlin is just sat within this smoke. Rotation of the spike goes back, but he gets shot. He gets denied. Now they have to go in. They have to push in. And Rians has rotated through, dropped the spike on the ground, but he gets caught. Do they have time is the question. Running in onto the site. I think they've just about got this plant. It's going to be incredibly close and just on the nose.
That's Viper's Pit to defeat. Luckily, Life was dropped and he had a nade. That would have been a death sentence, but Berlin putting up a fight. 29 HP, that's his 3rd kill of the round, and Young easily taking down Woot, jumping.
Well, the C site is a pretty hefty part of a lot of teams' game, a lot of executions, especially when you have a raise. But for FPX so far, it hasn't been a big part of the game plan. 5-5, and as I said, the economy was on the brink last round, and it stinks for Heretics in this round.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of sheriffs, a Bucky brought out by Benji Fishy. I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. And sometimes you'll see, you know, the orb up close like last round. Maybe you can get the value. No, he's going to have to do this dry. That's not an easy task for anybody. Has managed to get close, but the first shot doesn't land. The second does. A chance for a little bit more. He's dropped. But the Bucky isn't. It's recovered.
Hero Bucky.
Boo now has it in his hands. 2 bullets left, and he's out of here. Maybe a chance to reload as well.
Wonderful. He's got the skin for it at least. I don't think they're going to want to commit them here and more with Boo already dead. The Bucky might find another player. It has. Riens has got one, but they're in fact going to invest the Thrash. Just trying to make sure that this round doesn't fall away from them. It's still a 2v2 scenario and not the cleanest from Ayung, but he'll get the job done in the end. Lead.
Variety to what we're seeing here.
Yeah, with the whole composition, they weren't running themselves the Viper, so maybe joining the norm a little bit more there. It does also mean they don't have that breach anymore, which I think was a big talking point for Riens. Someone who's so fantastic with that supportive utility is going to have to do it in a different way. Again, we see this patient, passive FPX. I think if you watched the last map, you wouldn't have expected to hear those words come out of my mouth, but this has looked incredibly different. Happy to play into the late round, using those rotations. That counter Nightfall is definitely going to make things awkward. You maybe expected to see some spam from Boo instead. Ooh, tries to go through.
30 seconds left.
Oh, Boo's found himself one, and he's safe in the back of the site. Oh! Showstopper's good for 2. Mini Boo making a mess of this round because that's the spike on the ground. 10 seconds, even planting this spike is impossible, and more so now because he's smokes. Smoke right away has deterred the plan of Benji Fishy to put the turret down and deny any control over the mound without at least breaking it and giving away the info. Flash sent out, destroyed immediately, and look at that. Heretics pumped the brakes with a 3-man firing squad waiting.
Autumn, maybe a bit of a nasty surprise for him, is going to be the push through. Even still, that advantage kept. And waiting to see if there's anybody lurking around the edges of these smokes. In fact, looking like they're going to plant for the link. Instead, though, they're met by Ayung. This round maybe overplayed a little bit and almost caught out with utility in hand. Even still, a 3 versus 5 turned 3 versus 1. Boo has to try and turn it back again. And somehow, after such a death, the power of the pistol, and I don't really blame them. Seems like Boo's still going to be playing a similar game to what we see from him when he's on the smokes, lurking on that side of the map. And while for Berlin, it's a chance to potentially farm up orbs. It seems like he got a little bit lost there, though. Plant going to be tapped. I don't know if they realize the Autumn's still here, and Wu wins that fight as well.
But I don't think Wingman's going to survive too much longer. Yeah, he doesn't even get it to half. The shot from Life is nice, but they haven't dealt with the player on site. Riens is going out for more.
What?
Oh my, what is he doing? What was that?
Again, speaking about FPX and their ability to compete with the best, you're talking about a team that was in the previous Masters final with a sub, or I will say maybe the GOAT of all subs in Battletech, because that doesn't normally happen. Boo almost caught, but
looks like the focus is instead moving towards B. Prowler clears it. They won't waste their paranoia, instead using it much deeper, stopping any re-aggression coming out of heaven. Nade pushes them back there, and the plant should now come in safely in the corner. A foothold for Team Heretics, but Life trying to take advantage of the chaos. He's gone straight in with the blast pack and got 2-3, lighting them up. It's Heretics on the back foot, out of absolutely nowhere. FPX have got control, and they're starting to defuse already. They've got to go running at them to stop this, and there's no stopping what started here. What a round from Life. That is unbelievable.
3 rifles available, and oh, you can already see the amount of space that's already been taken by FPX.
Back and forth we go. Team Heretics, they'll set the sights on the C side, although Grabwell slowing them slightly. Good damage by Berlin. Those spams are deadly. And even the snakebite kill for Autumn. In comes Thrash. It's caught one, but no one's there to convert on it. Flash used up. Ayung has to be careful, though. I don't know. Okay, they will convert the kill. And no punish. And then the swing from Boo traded out. Gonna stick the plant here and now.
Maybe realizing it's a tough win anyway, and he should be dead to right. Did he use it just then? I feel like I thought I heard something for a second, but maybe not. I think he just straight away. Though aggression from either side. Life's got to be careful he doesn't get wrapped on. He does have some support. The flash is going to leave both players completely blind. Woo under serious pressure, and while that pressure is not easing up anytime soon.
Berlin, he's playing a risky game with just sheriffs.
Somebody would make a mistake. It's arguable that Berlin tried his best, but now the patience might just pay off. Benji looks like he might be about to be greeted. There's still plenty of utility to play with, but he is going to get the fight that he wanted, and he's going to take both. Now this becomes dangerous. The Nightfall committed, but it's only going to connect onto one. Boo looking to try and fight this one, but he's run out of ammo at the last second.
Lockdown and showstopper. That Young on the other side after his clutch last round just won away himself. For FPX, this is a round they should have a fairly big advantage in. Benji's already tagged, lots of weaker weapons, stingers in play, but that's where things can get chaotic, where Heretics will move quicker, more sporadically as a unit.
So they use the pin. That's the real question.
They should.
With stingers in play, it's definitely a possibility. On the other side of things, we've immediately seen an ult to try and hold them in position, but already they're pushing back in before we've actually seen the plant. And now it has to be the fallback. Never mind, though. Life has been able to take one down. Instead, though, he's going to be caught. A worthwhile trade. Showstopper out. It should be a kill, and it will be. Miniboo trying to fight up close. That spike still yet to be planted, but plenty of time to play with. On Autumn, just holding back. That pit still available, still possible to be put into play, and now it goes in. Miniboo, third kill of the round already, but he is traded out. And now it's the players within the pit, and Autumn's in real trouble. He's caught by Rienz. It was the low weapons, it was the problem weapons, and once again, it is something that again, they've just completely avoided the initial control over on A, expecting that to be a counter. Just taking space elsewhere. Now they have Nightfall. They could look to commit that into one of the sites, but it's seemingly, it's just going to be the allowment of that control to be lost.
What gives it away? But it doesn't look like Heretics are deterred. In fact, Boo's moving around to presumably throw over the reveal. Or perhaps not. They're just covering the B aggression alongside the turret. Have the pressure on him. He's conscious they could be here, but he hasn't used the paranoia just yet. Now they're close. Now the pressure's on, but he's caught the back turn. Paranoia out. It's caught him on the right. Miniboo can't see a damn thing. And shooting at the tracers, not quite close enough. With Life stepping up to delete Boo. This one's looking done. The lead will stay in FBX's hands as they push up to 11.
There is a lot more early battle this time for A, but they've got to be careful. In fact, they're looking to try and get out of there. Woot is under serious pressure. They've got to give it up, but they've taken B in response.
Oh, they're fully in. 3 players in through the B choke point, completely abandoned by FPX.
Oh, no!
That's a sloppy fight if ever I've seen one. And Ultimate's here for FPX as well. They've got a Showstopper and Thrash to get back in. They're confident in playing the retake. Nightfall is available for Team Heretics, and it may well be used, and in fact it is used right now, clearing out Heaven. There's no one there. Now they start to realize where the push is coming from. All those steps are heard, but it's because Thrash is going to lead the way. It's going to take the point of contact. The seize is good. It keeps them in position. Showstopper used, but Miniboo makes up for the disaster earlier on with Benji up top. Sneaking his way up close around that corner is a player, and coming through the smoker, 2 more. He thins out the herd and leaves time so low that FPX are running for the hills, not even escaping the spike.
Still trying to fight for this early control of Rubble, and again, it's the same. So much utility being expended, Woot being caught by all of it. And he's going to try and get out of there. Instead, though, they try the same play. They try the same ruse, and it is not going anywhere near as well.
That's the spike down. And a flank underway. Killjoy turret down, so there's no way they even get that information. And it's double flank too. Life is here as well. There is no stopping the ball for FPX in this round. It got rolling, and it's trampled Heretics. We open door.
They expect it. Oh, they do. That's a big kill. Berlin going down. It was a risk taken, and it was a risk that I don't know if it was worth it.
Doesn't seem so, especially with that showstopper online from Miniboo. He's the one picking the kill, but the ult was already there. And the C site now, knowing that there's Viper utility here, get caught by this big old rocket. But for now, there's no intention to use it. They're going to keep it reactive. I like this. Aware that FPX would probably fall back, would probably give them the space if they use it. Instead, they take the space for free. And now there's a showstopper for the 5v2. Its fire is already locked in. A big play needed. Young's been fantastic in so many rounds. And the spam here, my goodness, it could do a lot.
Knowing that there was going to be an alarm bot there. Has been going back and forth all the way. Why not keep it going a little bit more? 12 to 12. FPX versus Heretics, always. A little bit more tentative. A lot on the line. There's no easy games in this group. I think that has been proven. Going up or going down is not going to give you much easier opponent. Already pressure being placed in. Woot isn't going to be the one to find the kills. In fact, it's Rien's alongside Miniboo to do it. Leaving 3 standing, but I can't count how many 3v5s we've seen so far this game, so Heretics need to make sure they don't overextend.
Retake. Team Heretics, even just trading at this point will be more than enough.
Where do you go? Where do you fight? How do you try and remove this deficit? Are you hoping for a little bit of luck? Well, there it is. Still took some damage in response. Autumn tagged a little bit lower. Has Lysor alongside him, but not for much longer. And with 15 HP, I think all the miracles are gone from this round. It will be Heretics to take that advantage. Too much of a fight. In fact, all of his utility is used to that degree on B as well. You can see the turret. Now the rest look to just try and hold on to what has been a massive point of contention in way out.
The wall might help him for a moment, but okay, the spam is good. Now where does he go? He's stuck, he's naded, and hit by the snake bite too. Miniboo gets out, but the trade 1-to-1. It's not fantastic for the defensive side. Less players to defend this map now, and FPX still have the ability to take this wherever they want. The door is open. It looks like the spike is still going to the A site. They're committing. I thought this could be a fake after initial contact, but instead they're going to run heavy into 3 players from Heretics.
But they are not giving him anything. A shutdown and another chance for Heretics as they get themselves to match and
The name's Runner. This is huge. The spam, though, has been dodged by FPX. This previously led to 2 players dying. This time, next to nothing. In fact, no damage, right? Walking straight into the site and finding the opening. That's life down with a good opportunity to convert the plant as well. FPX can't really deny.
Claim the baby door. Lysor's going to get 1, but still the kill's going in favor of this attack side, looking to try and hold the line, and that's exactly what they're doing. Needs to be someone on this diffuser when it just isn't happening. It's left all onto Autumn. He's fought throughout this series, but I think the job is done. Time and time again, you'll see these teams fight against each other, and unfortunately, FPX fall exactly the same way.
Separated only by the overtimes. One hell of a fight put up by FPX, but Heretics, after a little break, a little